tuned in to WEMS Radio.
Yeah, so what's up, y'all? How you doing? You know it's your boy Prophet Pete, and we here with another show. Just want to talk to some people about some things, get into this cuffing season music. Definitely want to let you know it's cold outside, so it's about that time to really get together and do what we do for our people, y'all. Stay tuned. Listen in. My man Big Feeve, feel like, let's get it, y'all.
Wait a minute, I truthfully admit it. Never thought I'd see the time of my life when I'm committed. Big fee ball to the game, I run the city. Bad women calls my name like a prison. I ain't got time for the hate, I move quick. Bring it back like deep in the safe, I drop bricks. Make a woman buck when being, I'm never average. Then she go telling her friends cause I'm a savage. Big fee falling in love, y'all can have it. Now I'm talking family and marriage with 30 carats. It's nothing like finding a woman that you can cherish. Sexy mama truly deserved to live. Black queen, fully amazed, what can I say? Now you catch me boarding the plane with an upgrade. 400 grand when we land in France. She gon' shop till she drop when I'm waiting that fast.
You make me feel like chop 100 grand a month on your fashion. You make me feel like giving you the access code to my mansion.
Big Feeve.
You make me feel like, yeah. King. You make me feel like buying a big fat diamond.
Your measures, your treasures. 38, 36 has been a pleasure. 26 in the waist mean hold on forever. BTW, I just wanna cuddle you. You the dream team, so I don't need to hug you. Call me every second, you could never be a bugaboo. Sexy in my Rolls Royce, keep a ninja loving you. I just wanna shock him when a ninja walks next to you. I know your worth, I felt your hurt. The mother dots can last, you come first. Can't wait to show you off in the family church with the extravagant hat and the matching skirt. St. Louis boots with the Moai purse. Classy and foreverness, sexy on the high list. Hotter than a bowler grid sitting on my honor list. I just wanna let you know the decision was unanimous.
You make me feel like 100 grand a month on your fashion. You make me feel like giving you the access code to my mansion. You make me feel like you're my queen and I'm your king.
You're my queen.
You make me feel like
Diamond ring, yeah. Oh yeah, baby. I'll buy you everything, oh yeah. Whatever you like, whatever you want, girl. 'Cause you deserve it. Ooh, oh yeah.
Yeah, Freak Tip by my man Darko. Let's get it, y'all.
Tell me, what are you trying to do?
Let's cuff up.
Baby, I'm right in front of you. Show me.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? So make a move. Do what you wanna do.
Darko.
Make a move.
Freak Tip, y'all. Make sure you cop that.
Just make a move. And do what you wanna do. Just make a move, baby. You feel me? I'm right in front of you.
I'm so in love with you, do what I wanna do. Let me make my move, put this tongue all inside of you.
Word.
Can you handle it? We getting freaky, got the candles lit. Put it in reverse, can you ride? You got me addicted, you ain't supply. Let me control and do what I like. Yeah. Swear I'm gonna catch me a body tonight.
Baby, baby, I'm right in front of you. Tell me, what are you trying to do with me? Baby, baby, I'm right in front of you. Show me, what do you wanna do with me? So make a move, and do what you wanna do. Make a move, baby, you feel me? Right in front of you. Just make a move, and do what you wanna do. Just make a move, baby, you feel me?
Yeah,
Right in front of you.
freaky, you nasty. Know that I love you. Can tell all the way that I'm fucking. First time we fight, then we make up at night. Damn, I know you love it. Yeah. I'ma go and run up the bag, cause you don't wanna fuck with no bum, nigga. Still tryna call my line back to back. Damn, I love that. Hey, falling in love. Tell me what's next. Yeah. First I'ma hug you and then I'ma kiss you next. Know this your spot, so I'm gonna kiss on your neck. Yeah. Do what I wanna do, right here in front of you.
Baby, I'm right in front of you. Tell me, what are you trying to do with me? Baby, I'm right in front of you. Show me, what do you wanna do with me? So make a move, and do what you wanna do. Make a move, baby, you feel me? Right in front of you. Just make a move, and do what you wanna do. Just make a move, baby, you feel me? Right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get it, y'all. It's another edition of Prophet Radio. We doing it different tonight.
I know that you're feeling me.
Yeah, I know you feeling me.
And truthfully, I'm feeling you too.
That's a fact.
But we're in a situation with not much left to do. I just think I need to take a little time away from you. I'm caught up in my feelings.
Cold up.
It's got me all confused. Somehow I'm feeling like you really are the one for me. The way I have to deal sometimes. Tell me, how could this be?
Word.
I'm seeing right through your words, 'cause only actions speak to me. Just telling you the truth now. It's all about transparency. You got me in the middle.
Got me in the middle.
Just a tad, just a little.
Just a little.
Got me in the middle. You got me stuck on you. Got me in the middle. Just a tad, just a little. Got me in the middle. You got me stuck on you. I just need a little time to see what we could be, 'cause you might be playing me, yeah. I wanna give you all my love, but you don't deserve it yet. Baby, I'ma need your best, your best, your best. You got me in the middle.
Yeah, so what's up, y'all? We back. We tuned into the Prophet Radio Show with your boy Prophet P. Now I got some hip hop news for y'all. You know, something a little crazy. Always, you know, when it comes to this hip hop world, being gangsters, doing what you do, forgetting to lead a life alone when you making money. Now, my man Casanova, they got some indictments that they passed down. FBI is looking for you, man. Now, when I tell you looking for him, they are looking for him. 18 members of his gang, Gorilla Stone gang, were indicted. 17 of them are in custody. 17, right? For racketeering, murder, drug possession, weapon possession, and a lot of other things. And right now, Casanova is MIA, wasn't caught up in the sweep. They say that he might be hiding out in the ATL right now, chilling down there. It's kind of hard for him to hide. You know, he come outside, he kind of noticed he's like 6'2", and his teeth are bigger than life. So, you know, you can't miss him. So, you know, I just want to say, you know, it's very important that, man, when you become a certain status in the world, there's certain things you can't go back and do. Got an issue with his peoples for, you know, allowing him to get caught up in this, right? He talking about some of this stuff goes back to 2010. Now, when I'm talking about drug trafficking, they got them all over the East Coast, moving crack, cocaine, even prostitution. These are some of the indictments that they handed down. And it's a little crazy, but, you know, you just really, 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 really gotta take the time out and see who you around. I know you about that life. I know anybody could be about that life, and sometimes it's just not worth it. You got more to lose than the next man. So, yo, I wish Casanova all the best. I wish him all the best, and I hope that, you know, he makes it to where he gotta go. Other people take the charges for him so he could keep doing what he's doing, making music, supporting people, and being out there. But got a special guest tonight, Laura Simmons. She's an actor. She's actually a writer, and she's made several books, has about 9 books published. She's coming on a little later. We're going to talk to her, so make sure you stay tuned with that. And before we even get into anything else, man, want to make sure that, you know, you staying warm outside because it is a little cold. And it's the best way to stay warm than to have a moment like this.
Not tonight. Phone on do not disturb, please. I got a ringtone, yeah. Only sound I wanna hear when you deep moan. While I ride you in my ear, I got your stuck staring in my eyes. Baby, good love handling my body. Daddy, you locked in love with focus. Aim at your target, shoot from the side. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. I love the way it sounds. You need a spit, that's all I wanna hear. Tonight, let's put it on vibrate. Need to feel you touch my body before we start this. Phone do not disturb, please. Got the lights on low, ready better set the mood. Hungry, I know, but tonight you're playing with your food. The more you taste, the wetter your face. Baby, eat up, better clean your plate. Want you to beat it, eat it, eat it, please. Don't you stop until I'm shaking. Yeah. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. I love the way it sounds. You need a spit, that's all. No need to slow down, boy, I like it rough.
Word.
Give me more now, cause that's what I want.
Yeah.
Tonight it's going down, yeah, you know it's going down. Give you the code word when it's safe to stop. There's no need to slow down, cause I like it rough.
Yeah.
Give me more now, cause that's what I want. Yeah,
that's what you want.
Tonight it's going down, yeah, you know it's going down. Give you the code word when it's safe to stop.
She won't profit Pete. Oh, it's going down, y'all. Do not disturb. I told you. And I got that.
Come on, let me take you up that time. Do all the things you like. Before we start this, phone on do not disturb, please.
Yeah. Make sure you get into that little do not disturb vibe tonight. It's Wet Sheets Wednesdays, where make sure you get those sheets wet when you at home. Do what you do. Make sure the phone's on do not disturb so nobody bothers you. Take the time out to cuddle up with your boo and do those nice things for that significant other of yours. Make them feel special. And it keeps the heating bill down too, because you're gonna warm each other up under that blanket. So, you know, as we continue throughout the day, man, this evening, I want to say the holiday times are coming, right? We just had Thanksgiving pass. We got Christmas, the New Year. The environment that we're in is a little different. It's been a little different for a little while now. Kind of gets a little crazy talking about it all the time, but we have to because that's what's going on. That's the environment we're in, the pandemic that we're in. It's hard to be able to connect with the ones that you want to connect with, the ones you want to be with, especially when you're in different places. And there's so much stuff going on that's preventing it from happening. Things that are out of your control or whatever it may be. But, got to find a way to stay connected. It's easy to get lost and disconnect because of what's going on. Spend a lot of time alone and doing certain things. So you just got to make sure you tell that one that you love them, that you care about them, that you want to be with them, because I think it's very important, right? Letting people know how you feel during the times where it seems to be so chaotic, because we could easily get lost in the mess of what we call life and forget to tell those that have been there and that we hold dearly in our hearts, that we're thinking about them and we care about them. So just want to say, make sure you do that. Christmas time, we might not be able to gather like we want to. This vaccine got approved overseas first before it got approved over here. Soon they're going to be distributing it to elderlies and medical personnel, right? The people on the front lines, which I think is very important, that they have something to really help protect themselves. But even though they do get this vaccine, it's still going to take a while before, it's actually protecting them. So, it's still got to work. The body got to build up antibodies and all this stuff. So it's important that we understand that this is how it works. You don't get the shot today, go party tomorrow. Definitely not the case. And also remember, we have mutations of this virus. So there are some vaccines that may work, but might not work good enough. But just like the common cold or the flu or things like that, no matter how good you think you are, you still can catch it. So it's one of those things. But in today's world, like I said, we have to make sure that we don't get too caught up in what we're doing and forget about those that are around us, those that have been through many things with us and grown with us and supported us and got mad at us and loved us back, in the craziest of times. And it is cuffing season, baby making season, belly on back season, all those types of seasons. Anything that means two people get closer together and they hold each other, cuddle, and show how much they care for one another. I think it's important that we do that, especially now in these times, because we have craziness going on. And on a crazier note, I don't know if, anybody was paying attention to what's going on, but Trump supporters and stuff like that are actually threatening the lives of Georgia officials and posting up addresses and just swinging by and antagonizing and threatening or harassing individuals. We have a lot of things that are going on that I think being Donald Trump being the 45th president of the United States, there's a lot of things that he could control, that he could speak to or speak on. And I think his silence is really, really telling us who this man really is as an individual and what we have to look for. I swear to you, if we ever, somehow, some way, right, reelect this man, as he stated, he will be running for president in 2024, right? So he will be running again in 2024. And I think that right there in itself is going to be crazy if he actually runs and wins, because we are in a state where our president is showing how non-presidential he is and not addressing things. He says to hell with customs, the way things go and the way things been. I'm going to do it my way, the only way, because I'm Donald Trump. Not even I'm the president of the United States. It's just I'm Donald Trump. His actions have not changed from when he was just millionaire, billionaire Donald Trump, the apprentice Donald Trump, to when he became the president of the United States, Donald Trump. So we should not be surprised, but the only thing is now he controls the lives of many and the livelihoods of many. So hopefully none of those actions that are taken, none of those death threats actually happen. No one gets hurt. This will just go away. Hopefully it gets addressed. The people that are there doing what they're doing, they get prosecuted, and we're able to put an end to a lot of what's going on. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick music break. I got my people, Jay Chosen, and he's letting you know that you the one, and I'm letting you know that you're the one. Yeah.
Baby, what you doing? Got me going crazy, how you making me feel? Baby, what's your secret? I promise if you kiss, girl, I won't tell. So tell me what's up. Baby, can we take our time and get it right? So you don't have to play shy. I wanna make you my day now. 'Cause baby, you the one, girl. I'm tryna have fun, yeah. I hope you're ready for the night. Come on, let's take a ride, yeah. So baby, buckle up, and baby, hurry up. 'Cause I got what you want. You got what I need. You the one for me, yeah. Oh yeah. You the one for me, yeah. Oh, you the one for me. You the one, you the one for me. Yeah. Then you got me tripping. Baby girl, you the baddest, yeah. Then my babe dripping. Baby girl, you can have it, yeah. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I'ma give it to you.
We're talking cars to crib, whatever you feel, and show you how to live. 'Cause baby, you the one. I'm tryna have fun, yeah. I hope you're ready for the night. Come on, let's take a ride, yeah. Baby, buckle up, and baby, hurry up. 'Cause I got what you want, and you got what I need, baby. Yeah. You the one for me. Yeah. You the one for me. You the one for me. You the one for me. The mama got a bad little walk. That turn me on when she talk. She got a bad little walk. That turn me on when she talk. Yeah. I got a bag if you want. She get the bag what you want. I got a bag if you want. Come get this bag if you want. Cause you know, baby, you the one. I'm tryna have fun, yeah. I hope you ready for the night. Come on, let's take a ride, yeah. So baby, buckle up.
Yeah, what's going on, my people? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Prophet Pete with the Prophet Radio Show. And tonight's guest, we got Laura Simmons, actress, author, and part of MDT. Right? If I'm correct, it's one half of MDT, right? Mother-daughter team. So if I'm not mistaken. So without further ado, we're going to bring the special guest in tonight. Good evening. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
Okay.
Yes. So how you doing? Introduce yourself for the people.
Okay. My name is Laura Simmons. I am an model. I'm an actress. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker and a playwright.
Oh, you do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So how has it been during, the last, well, we can almost say a year now, right? We're at like 9-10 months of chaos. How has it been for you, especially when it comes to your writing and acting and all those slew of things that you do?
Actually, with the acting and the plays and stuff, is right now it's on hold. But the writing, I'm still writing. I continue writing. I mean, this actually just give me time to write, do a little more writing.
Yeah, I think this slowed a lot of people down.
Yeah.
Instead of having that hustle and bustle that we tend to do all the time, running through life, because that's what tends to happen. We're just running through it, and we don't take the time out to focus on the things that we really want to do or the things we really have to do. So we spend a lot of time being lost in many of those things.
Right.
So you have about 9 published books.
10.
10.
10. Mm-hmm.
10. Oh, I read 9 somewhere, so I must have missed one.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, I think I missed one. It's probably the last one.
Right. Want to get out of debt. Probably it's the last one that you didn't get.
Nope, that one. Nope, I didn't get that one. So there are 2 books with similar titles.
Uh-huh.
One of them is
Little Sisters Listen Up, and the other one is Little Brothers Hear Me Out.
Right. So tell us about those 2 titles a little bit. Let's start off with Little Sisters.
Okay, so Little Sisters Listen Up is basically a mentor in a book. The same thing with Little Brothers Hear Me Out. They're both like a mentor in a book. It talks to the young people about peer pressure. It talks to them about money. It talks to them about the people we hang out with. It talks to them about getting themselves back on track. It talks about so many things that our young people really need to hear.
Now, do you think that putting it in written form is an easier way to convey the message that we used to tell, our youth in person?
It depends on if the person likes to read. So what I did was I took the books and I actually have transformed them into audiobooks. So now they're available in audio. So that for those that don't like to read, now you have no excuse to not put the CD in your CD player and listen.
Yeah, I think audiobooks, the invention of audiobooks were great. Because me sitting down trying to read a book,
you got the time. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, so I'm always running. So the invention of audiobooks, I was like, wait, I can listen to it and still be on the move and
Yeah.
still do 1,001 things. I said, this is great.
Mhm.
So, for me, and then, it's easy to, rewind, replay, bookmark it and everything else. And I think that, that, everybody learns differently. So,
Yeah.
to be able for them to process the information, some people, they easily get it when they read. Their reading comprehension is through the roof. And then you got people that they'll hear something and they'll be able to process it, hold on to it,
Yeah.
remember it, and stuff like that. So I think that works out great. Then
Hmm.
we need to turn the books into plays, so now we can see everything going on. And
Exactly.
see,
Yeah. And that's what Little Sisters Listen Up is actually. I have the play for that as well. We were intending on doing the play this year in August. First, it was like in May. I think that's when COVID started. And then we changed it because we thought that this COVID thing was just for gonna be for a month or so, and then we'd be back to normal. So then we changed it till like August. And when August came around, it was getting close to August, we noticed that it wasn't getting better, it was getting worse. So I just said, well, I went to my cast and I told them that, we're gonna have to cancel the show until next year because doesn't look like this thing is going anywhere right now. So I
yeah.
was upset and I cried.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Yeah.
It happened to a lot of us, and I realized that during this time, it's the the easiest thing to say is, why is this happening to me? But then you have to sit there and really think,
Yeah.
like, it's not just happening to me. Like, the whole world is going through it right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting hit in different ways, some worse than others, but it is happening to everybody. But
Yeah.
what doesn't kill us will make us stronger.
Yeah.
And this is where we are right now, which I think has helped us adapt in many ways.
Yeah. And it'll make things better. It'll be even better. It gives us time it gives me actually it gave me time to go through some things with my stage play and change some things around and um maybe change a few of my characters out, few of the people that was part of my cast out. Um and really look over some things, because I really wanted to focus mainly on getting my point across to my young people, my young ladies. I really wanted to get my point across to them, showing them.
Now, what are some of the things that you discuss in the book as far as referencing young ladies and also, I guess financial literacy?
It's um basically I talk to my young ladies about how to it's the way to transform themselves into from preteens to young women. And in it, I also talk to them about how they can take and make money um, by their everyday things that they have in their household. The clothes you have in your household. And things like that. I show them how you can actually make money to take yourself a vacation every summer. Because you should see it. To me, this is my opinion. I think that every young lady should experience seeing the world, because it is so important to see different parts of the world. Um, be get out your neighborhood. Get out your neighborhood and go see something else. See somebody else's neighborhood. Get this, get learn new languages so that you can go to other countries and you'll be able to communicate with the people in those other countries. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I think that it's also important too, because a lot of times, you know, growing up where we grow up and not escaping that, may it be the neighborhood we live in, the 2 block radius that we tend to hang out in. We tend to only think the whole entire world is our neighborhood. Like,
Yeah.
everything in the neighborhood, the trials and tribulations, the crime, the people, the just the way things are. And you know, a lot of times growing up in, the poverty stricken neighborhoods, just going to an area that is more middle class or upper class, you see the difference. But if you never
Yeah,
leave your area, you kind of get stuck and don't even know that those things are possibilities. So
exactly.
it's always important to physically physically actually go to these places, because a lot of
Hmm.
times kids like to younger people, or the generation now tends to look for everything online, and I don't think they get the same impact unless they went there. Right,
No.
seeing the Eiffel Tower on Google Pics is different from seeing the Eiffel Tower in person.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think in understanding culture and different perspectives from around the world actually breed a better person.
Yeah, it does. And I remember I was telling my daughter, I remember when my very first time going to Jamaica. I visited Jamaica and I got a chance to see Kingston, Jamaica, where it's really a poor area. And it was so interesting to see the different things that I seen there. And I seen so many people, they just when you go out to like to buy stuff, and they had these little huts and stuff, and you see them, everybody trying to grab you to their hut. It was just like really interesting just seeing these things and stuff. And I remember running into a lady that had a fruit basket on her head, and I asked her, could I take a picture with her? But I didn't know that was her job, and that she wanted me to pay her. I'm wondering why she's still standing there after I took the picture. And then the guy explained to me, said that's her job. I said, really? He said, yeah, that's her job. That's how she make her money. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. So I gave her money, but it's just interesting to see the different things that we take for granted in the United States, that these other countries, they don't, they can't take advantage of it, because guess what? They don't have those opportunities.
Yeah, and the first time I went to Jamaica, I didn't go to the tourist area. I was on the Kingston side of Jamaica, so
Hmm.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was in amazement.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness! I'm like, there's a goat standing on the gate. Like, how
Yeah,
does
exactly. Oh my God. It was so interesting. It was so interesting. And then the lady that was on the tourist bus that was telling us about the different areas and stuff, she showed us where the prison was. And she said, so I advise y'all don't get in no trouble while y'all down here. She was telling me, she said, because the prisons here are nothing like the prisons you're used to in the United States. She said, it's not like that. She said, I promise you, you will regret any trouble you get into down here.
hmm
So it was like really interesting, just seeing the different things that I seen and stuff. And so yeah, that's why I said, I just want to see our young people get it out and they see the world, see different parts of the world and stuff, and just experience different things.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it is so necessary, and it'll open up their eyes to so many things, especially if they're financially able to do so.
Hmm.
It's a good thing to do, because you get to see the way other people live, and you develop a whole new appreciation for what you have,
Yes.
and what you take for granted. And we do, us in the United States are very spoiled. We take a lot of things for granted,
Oh,
like running water, like,
restaurant food.
right, like lights. It's like, what
Mhm.
you mean the electricity's out? What am I supposed to do? Wi-Fi?
Do
Like, what am I supposed to do? These are things that we're so accustomed to here
too.
that
Yeah.
when we go to other places. And when I was in Jamaica or the Bahamas and things like that, I'm like, I got no cell phone service. Like, what the heck is going on? What you mean you don't have a hot water heater? What? The sun warms the water? What's going on here? Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it. Like, these are things I'm like, this is as hot as it gets. Like, the water doesn't get any hotter than this.
Mhm.
They're like, yeah, we got one pipe that comes in, because it comes from outside, it gets warmed up, and that's all you got. So you better take a shower when it's hot. That's it. And you
Yeah.
only got like 3 minutes, because the tank is
Yep.
going to run out of water. So these are things. I run water in that apartment all the time. Walk away, come back. Just imagine,
Yep.
things we take for granted. But I
Yeah.
think that as far as the books and people being able to read and you having the information that you have. Now, would you like to tell me the title of that last book, the one that I didn't get?
Want to get out of debt fast. It's called
So
Want to. Yeah.
so what is your take on that? Because
Well, wanting to get out of debt fast.
yeah, what's
Well, you know what? That's just the title. It's just the title, but actually it's a process, and it's a process to get out of debt when you get into so much debt. It's a process, and a lot of times people think that it's not supposed to be no pain, but if you don't have no pain, you don't gain nothing. So because of the fact that you put yourself in that kind of situation, it's a process, and you're gonna suffer a little. You're gonna Now, I'm not gonna say a little. You're gonna suffer.
a
You're
lot?
gonna suffer in the process of getting back out of debt. I remember. The reason why I say this is because I did it. I had got myself in so much debt with credit cards, and it was just crazy. And then, so as I was going through my process of eliminating these credit card debts and stuff like that, I had to change the way I was living. Instead of going to the gas station and charging it on a credit card, I'm using prepaid cards. So you know how the prepaid cards work. The prepaid cards is, you only spend what you have on that card. So I had to learn how to live off of what I was actually making and stop taking money from Peter to pay Paul, and money from um, sisters and brothers and husbands and stuff like that. I had to learn how to use my own money. And in the beginning, it was hard. And I was so mad at everybody. I was mad at the world. And I was mad at God, because I said, oh, you know, I prayed to you and asked you to help me get out, but you can't. You got to put work in order for him to help you. So I had to put the work in there. I had to, when my girlfriend say, hey, let's go to the show or let's go out to eat, I had to say, no, I can't do that because I'm on a budget. And I had to learn how to put myself back on a budget. And it's the craziest thing is, when I was 21 years old, I had the A1 credit, never used a credit card. It took when I got into my the 30s, and then that's when I started just blowing money on stupid stuff. And then so re I had to rebuild myself and learn how to get myself out of debt, only spend what I have to spend, and learn how to take the smallest check to use it to pay all my expenses, and take the other check and put it into a savings account. So it was a process, and I was really angry with everybody.
And I think people don't realize how easy it is to get into debt, but so hard to get out of it.
Yeah. What
It-
happened with me though is the reason why I got into debt was I had just lost my mom. And they said shopping is therapy. So before I knew it, I was shopping and shopping and shopping
mm,
using these cards. So it was and the main thing in my book I talk about is knowing the root of how you got into your debt.
mm,
Once you know the root of it, then that's when you can really tackle it. In the beginning, you will not be able to tackle it because you don't know how did you get there or what caused you to get there. And that was my thing. I had to learn first, because the first time I tried to do it, I couldn't do it because I didn't know how did I get into the debt that I was in. And then I started sitting there and I started thinking to myself, okay, so how did I get into that debt? And I started thinking about what happened. I lost my mom. And when I lost my mom, something inside me just I had to find a way out, something to relieve that pain. And I found myself in a store buying stuff that I didn't need, didn't really want. I just was buying it because I just needed that that therapy, that little therapy there.
Yeah, I think it's always good to identify the root cause of the problem and not trying to address the symptoms. Like you're sitting there and you're just trying to fix the outside issue, but the root of the problem is what you need to fix in order to fix your credit or just any issue.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, right.
so you have to get to the root cause and identifying that you use, the shopping as a form of therapy during a hard time in your life. You couldn't say, well, the shopping is my problem. No, because now it became a habit because now it was
Hmm.
something you did for therapy. So where it was your mother passing away, God bless her soul, um, you know, now for every other problem, the way you would treat it is probably go shopping. Hey, oh, you had a bad day.
Hmm.
I'm going shopping. Oh, it's raining outside.
Yeah,
I'm going shopping.
I'm going shopping. Yeah.
And, and forget it now. It's so easy to do it because now you don't even have to leave the house. So now it's you get online
Hmm.
and you just start pressing buttons. Before you know it, you got $10,000 worth of products coming to your house and you forgot that you ordered them because you shopped for like 12 hours.
Yep. And that's what happened. So that's why I wrote the book, Want to Get Out of There Fast, and because of that very reason. And you can't tell a story unless you done been through it.
Mhm.
So to me, that's my theory. You can't tell a story about something if you ain't experienced it. So I experienced it. I seen how I felt. I know how depressed I got. I got so depressed. I was so angry with my husband because I'm like, okay, he won't give me no extra money. See, I'm struggling here, but he won't give me no extra money. And I had to realize it wasn't his fault. It was my fault. I put myself in that. I got myself in that situation. And it was because, like I said, I was depressed already because of the fact I had just lost my mom, and I had no way out because I didn't really I never been a person that had a whole bunch of friends. I never been that person. And my reason for that is because I ain't got time for a bunch of drama. So I don't have the time for it. I can't write a book if I got a bunch of drama.
No, it's going to take you away from everything that you need to focus on.
Right.
You know,
So
and I've learned, I'm a people person. I am a people person, but I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish and things that I have accomplished. And what has always got in the way was people.
yeah.
The people get in the way of me accomplishing the things that I need to do, which I've limited my interaction with many, many, many people. And it just has to be that way. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it do. It do. And you have to be able to know when to throw the cards in and when not to. And that's how I looked at it with certain people. I had to learn that you're gonna have to cut that person off because that person is gonna pull you back and they're gonna keep you down. Is every time you try and pull yourself up, they're gonna try and pull you back down. So I had to learn. And then when I read that Steve Harvey book, that really got my attention when he was talking about the boat. When he was talking about that boat, and he was saying how when he was on he said you're gonna run into people. Some gonna be helping you push the boat. There are gonna be some that's gonna be just riding on the boat. There are gonna be some that's gonna be there just for the ride to see how far you're gonna go. And he said, and then there are gonna be some that's gonna be putting anchors in the water to try and stop your boat. He says, so you have to cipher it out and figure out which ones are your real friends and which ones are friends that's just there for the ride.
Yeah, and it's sad, and I would think, even this can be individuals that you've dealt with for years that have been around your whole entire life, but they will
Yep.
only deal with you if you're on that same level. The craziest thing for me is when a friend would tell you, "Hey, you've changed," and I'm like, "What
Yep.
the hell was I supposed to do? Stay the same? I'm not 15 no more. You know, I'm grown up now. I got different
Yep.
responsibilities." But usually, you hear that from people that refuse to grow up and haven't been nowhere and would love company in the place where they are. You
Yep.
know, and those are the people that are throwing anchors off the boat
Off
trying to
a
slow
boat
you.
trying to slow you down. Yep.
So
And I mentioned that in the books for little brothers hear me out and little sisters listen up. I mentioned that in the book. I tell them about how you have to be careful about the circle that you choose, the circle of friends, and I mentioned that in there, and I tell them about, from my experience as a young lady of what I've been through, and I know some of the pain that you're gonna encounter as you grow older.
yeah, and I think these are some books that are definitely needed as far as being able to provide an educational aspect in of life, you know
Mhm.
with different ways of presenting it, being able to identify who you are, being able to identify your goals, where you're going, and what you need to get there is always great. And I think we lost that whole community aspect in a lot of the neighborhoods where the whole each one teach one kind of
Mhm.
thing, where we were able to help raise the neighborhood. Our community was us.
Yeah.
Everyone knew each other and things like that. Nowadays it's not like that. um well, I don't know if it's not like that everywhere. I just know in places where I frequent, it's not like that too much.
It's not. Mm-mm.
Children, you got kids, as they say, kids raising kids, but then the kids don't even know what they're doing. So who's raising who? It's just
Yeah.
crazy. Everything is just it's just crazy right now. And even, I was speaking about it a little earlier, and the people that are around you dragging you down. You know, a very successful rapper, who Casanova, he's indicted on murder, drug, and all types of charges. He's he's a wealthy rapper from Brooklyn, but now he's on the run from the FBI. This is not like some local New York situation, or
Right.
and the FBI is looking for him. So it's someone
That's messed
that
up.
could have been out of trouble, and because he kept a certain circle with a certain type of friends, he is sitting
Mhm.
here, risking his freedom is in jeopardy right now. 17 out of the 18 guys, he's the 18th guy that they haven't caught yet, but they got all 17 of the other guys. So it's a little crazy, and this is what sometimes kids don't see it too much, and they're not paying attention, but you got to give it to them and the things that they frequent or that they love the most. That
Mhm.
message, you
Yep.
know. But as far as motivational speaking and even just writing your books, what actually motivates you to get into, you know, your writing, or even during a motivational speech?
People.
People.
People helped me get into, keep it helped me get into my speaking. And the reason why I say that is because the very first time I spoke at a school, I was speaking in front of to some adults, and it was I was so nervous the first time I did it, because and it's so funny because nobody believes this, but I was one shy person growing up, but you wouldn't believe it now because I'm the person that will talk to anybody. I'll speak to anybody. If I see you need a little help with something, I'm going to say something to you. And so people is what motivates me to speak. Um, I started speaking, and um, after the after the class, after I did the motivational speaking and everything, and it was people standing in line to speak to me afterwards, and it was so surprising to me because I was like, me? I'm just like shocked because I'm like, oh, I didn't even think they were really paying attention, but I was speaking, and my daughter said, "Mom," she said, "Boy, your message was so powerful." She said, she said, she said, wait, she said, "You say you never done this before?" I said, "Never done this a day in my life." I said, "But because it was a friend who asked me to speak at one event. It started off with one event. She asked me to speak at the event, and I said, okay. I said, I ain't never done this before, but I said, okay. So I said, I'll give it a shot. So when I got there and these people standing in lines to talk to me afterwards, it was just so amazing to me. I was like, wow. And it was people coming to me thanking me for what I was saying. It was like you just changed something inside me. Now I'm going to go home and refocus on what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And it was so I was like, I felt so, grateful because of the fact that the Lord blessed me to be able to do this, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes what we don't think we're able to do, God lets us know that that's what we're meant for. And
Yeah.
he was able to channel his energy through you and give you the strength to be able to do it. And
Mhm.
and it surprised you even when it happened because you said you never did it.
Yeah. I had never done it before.
So I think that that's great. And being motivated by individuals and wanting to help is always great. And I think a lot of the titles of your books show that what you're putting out there is not you know just to write a book or just to get material out there. It actually has a purpose, in order to help
Mhm.
individuals, even getting out of debt. Getting out of debt is the craziest thing. I'm I'm 41 years old and I still have the not the slightest idea what these credit report numbers and all this crap means because it's always changing. I'm always looking at it. I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm like, they changed as soon as I think I got it, they change what it means again. I give up. I just go with it. I'm like, whatever. And you know, just having the right information and learning certain things and budgeting. I think our culture in general um, shows us not to budget but to ball. Right? It's all about balling. It's all about being fancy and flashy, and giving the appearance of having wealth when you don't. Um,
Right.
and we end up in debt more often than not, and then don't know how to get out of it. And then we're told, the best thing to do is file bankruptcy. But then you're screwed for like
Yeah.
10 years. And it's like,
Yeah.
then what? Then what? You can't
Yeah.
really
Came
do,
back. No, you can't buy a house. You can't buy a car.
you
You
can't
you
do nothing.
you can't get no more credit cards. You screwed.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's like, you know, people think they know. The ones that think they know, they try and teach but teach the wrong things because it maybe worked for them and stuff like that. But there's certain things I just won't do. Filing bankruptcy is not it. I can tell you
Mhm.
I've gotten myself into debt, but it was what I realized is that understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt made the big
Mhm.
difference for me. And
Right.
I had owned several houses, and one day I looked at my credit report and almost had a heart attack because it was over a million plus $2 million that I owed in money. But it was real estate, so I was able to, once I got rid of the houses, sold the houses, that stuff went away. But just looking at the numbers and not understanding, I'm like, I'm in debt. Who was the idiot who loaned me all this money? But because I'm like, I don't know how they ain't gonna get it from me. But but it was one of those things that once you become financially educated, you will understand the difference between the things that are important and what's not important, and also understanding that not all assets, not everything is an asset. Not all houses are assets. A difference between
Exactly.
an asset and liability is very important because assets make you money. Liabilities take money out your pocket. You know,
Right.
so these are things that I've learned, and I'm just one day I've been trying to write books for a very long time because I got a story to tell. When I tell you I got some stories, but you know, um, always want to write a book, but for me, it's just so difficult to sit down and write. Um,
Hmm.
for me, especially because I'm not gonna write on paper because my handwriting sucks. Right, I write it down and I can't even read it. So it's just one of those things. And then I'm not someone that is a typist, so it takes me forever to type 3 words. So I'm like, so by the time I finish typing, I, I type one word, forgot everything I was writing because I was focused on the keys on the keyboard. So
Let me
now
get
I'm
this
lost.
one.
Yeah, so now I'm lost. I'm like, what was I saying? Because that was good, but I forgot. You know what? And that's it. It's over. Then I'll go do something else.
Yeah.
So one day I'm gonna get efficient in something to get those books out there. I got a few titles. I
Yeah.
definitely got a few titles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the book, Little Sisters Listen Up. I'm gonna tell you the funny thing about that book. So, Little Sisters Listen Up was it was I was being it for a whole year. The Lord woke me up at 4 a.m. for one whole year to give me some things to write down. So I was writing these notes in this little notepad right next to my bed every morning at 4 a.m. So when the year was up and all this stuff was in this book, it looked like scribble scrabble to me. And I was saying to myself, I said, okay, now, Lord, what am I supposed to do with this? Because I didn't know. So my sister was in the hospital, and I went to see my sister at the hospital. And me and her was talking, and I was showing her this notepad that I had wrote all this stuff on. And I said, "Yeah, Lord, been wake me up every morning at 4 a.m. exactly, and every morning He gave me some stuff to write in this little notepad." So my sister looked at it. She read some of them. She said, "Sis, you supposed to put a book together." I said, "How am I gonna put a book together with this? I don't even know, girl. I don't even know where to begin." I said I don't even have a title for it. She was the one who gave me the title for the Little Sisters Listen Up. And
Mm.
she said, now what you gotta do is she said, now you gotta go back to the Lord and ask him how do he want you to organize it. And she said, once he's gonna show you how to organize it. So I went back, prayed like she told me, and when I got on the computer, I stayed on that computer the whole night until I finished typing everything in. It was like I was in a zone, and it was like he was just telling me what to put, what goes where, what goes here, how to set it up and everything. It was so, if you see my little notepad, you would crack up laughing because you would say the same thing. You're like, wow, you did what with that? How? Because I swear to you, it's like I just was writing stuff on this little notepad in different pages. It was all on different pages and stuff, and it came out. And when it was time to put it into a book form, the Lord just gave me everything, and I was sitting on the computer the whole night. I stayed up until like 4 a.m. that morning, typing up what the way it's supposed to be in order.
And like I said before, you know, he will channel certain things through you, especially if you asking the right things and you've putting in the work and you're moving in the way that you should be moving. It will happen.
Mm-hmm.
It will
Yep.
happen. And I'm a believer, definitely have a lot of faith. So I just know that there'll be more wonderful things for you to come as
Yeah.
far as
Thank you.
your plays, your speaking, your writing. There's going to be a lot more to come. So where is it, before we get up out of here, where is it that they can find your books?
Okay, so the where you can get the audio and the book form, you can get it on Amazon.com. And now on my page, you can only get on my website, you can only get the books through my website, but it's an autographed copy. And that's www.motherdaughterteambooks.com. And that's www.motherdaughterteambooks.com. And you can find us on Instagram. It's Mother Daughter Team LLC. And we're on Facebook, the Mother Daughter Team.
Okay, that's perfect. See, so we got all the social media handles, and we know where to find the books. One of the most popular books out of all the ones you've written, what would you say the most popular one is? The one
Our
that's
little sisters, listen up.
that's sold the
Yeah.
most copies.
Yeah, that sold the most copies. Mhm.
All right. See, and then she got a sequel for the young boys. See, so
Right.
all right. So you're touching both ends of it, and
Yeah.
you get out
That's
of
the
debt
boys.
fast, right?
That's the girls. And then this is to get out of debt fast.
See, look at that, right? So you got a book for everybody, right? You got one for the daughter, one for the son, and then one for you. So everybody could get together and have a reading night, right? You look for Laura
For
Simmons' book,
little kids.
right? And you look, you got everything going on. Y'all all sit down. Everybody get their own little book. They chill. They read. They have a good time. Everybody's getting something from it. Sometimes you got to put things in books and put books in front of kids, especially you want to get them away from the computers and stuff so much now because since all this online schooling and everything else, staring at the screen is definitely not good all day. So give them
Yeah.
something else to look at. And I think a book is a way to go. Or get the audio book, let them sit down, listen, and have a good old time. So, anything else you want to say before we go?
Yeah, that I have books for smaller kids too, as well, from the age of 2 years of age all the way up.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, got a little something for everybody, the whole family.
Yep. And they all in audio. All
All
of them
in
are in
audio.
audio too. Yep.
Oh, so look at that, right? 10 books, all in audio and in physical form. Ebooks too, right? Digital books. So,
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
all right. So we got hard copies, we have digital, and we have audio. So three different forms. Plays coming very, very soon once we get out of this pandemic. Right, we got that coming. So we got a lot of situations going on, all focused on educating not only the youth but educating people in general. Right, getting them
Yes.
out of their own way. That's it.
Yep.
Yep, that's the
Yep.
way it works. So
Mhm.
I want to thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me on your show too.
Yes. So have a great night and we'll talk again soon. Yeah. So it's your boy Prophet Pete. We doing it again, chopping it up. We did a little different this week. We brought you a little bit of the slow making love cuffing music, right? Because we're gonna start a whole new thing on Wednesdays called Wet Sheet Wednesdays, because we're gonna make sure that your sheets stay wet, right? Because it's not just hump day because it's the middle of the week. We're gonna make it a legit hump day because we got wet sheets in the building, right? So we're gonna have DJ Prophet in the building with the wet sheet mix every Wednesday. So you got to make sure you tune in to hear all the dopest R&B mix, hip hop, R&B, love making, jazz, neo soul, whatever you thinking of. We got it. Make sure you hit me up to request some music and you could catch us here every week, man. Same time, same bat channel. And before we get up out of here, I just got something I want to say. Yeah, and another one.
I like that. You like that?
There's another one.
And
And another one.
Yeah.
must be used to me spending
Yeah.
all that sweet wine and when I'm fucking you tonight.
That's right.
There's another one. And another one. Some say the X make the sex spectacular. Make me lick you from your neck to your back to your shivering, tongue delivering, chills up that spine. That ass is mine. Skip the wine and the candlelight. No down tonight. It's alright with you. We fucking.
That's cool.
The blood spark, finger fucking in the park.
Bacardi, dog. And we out of here, y'all.